Alameen. And it's just a short time, because I know that we have some of the brothers and sisters are fasting and they want to get their iftar, inshallah Rabbil Alameen. So it's the reflection on today's khutbah, as we talked about the issue of the changing the Qibla, changing the direction of the Qibla. And we mentioned that the significance was, or the importance for that. One of the reasons that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted to please the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we said that happened where? In Mecca or in Medina? In Medina. After how many months? 16 months. So after 16 months, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed these verses to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And at that time, it was a test. Because, you know, our Islam based on one concept. What's that concept? What's the word of Islam means? Islam means submission. Islam is to submit. It comes from the word aslama, istaslama. Istaslama means like he submitted himself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And of course, sometimes we want to understand what's the wisdom behind a certain order in the Quran or even in the Sunnah. But now, just let's assume that you try to find the wisdom behind that order, but you couldn't find. Or you are living in such area, the person who is responsible for the community or the religious leader does not have any clue about the wisdom behind this order. Would you stop doing this order till you understand what's the reason behind it? Of course not. So you as a Muslim, once you declared Islam and once you accepted Islam, so whatever you hear as a command from Allah, we should treat it that way. What's that way? One statement. Sami'na wa ata'na. We have listened and we will obey. That's the concept that the companions of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had applied. And one of the things that it was, like as I told you, it was a test. And a test for whom? For all people at that time. For the believers. So Allah wanted to know. Allah wanted to see who will follow the Prophet Muhammad and who will not. And it was a test for even the non-Muslims, the disbelievers, because they tried to call Muslims at that time, you know what? Muhammad was directing himself to Jerusalem, and now he is directing himself to Kaaba. That means one step more and he will leave that religion completely and he will follow us. So they started I told you, every community at that has rumors, has some people are spreading the fabricated news, spreading the lies. And that was the lie at that time. You know, it is called a minor crisis in the Islamic history, that incident called minor crisis. Why? Because it was like a filter, like Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. You know, Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj also was a filter. And there is a verse in the Quran, Allah said, لِيَمِيزَ اللَّهُ الْخَبِيثَ مِنَ الطَّيِّبِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted people to distinguish what's good and bad. What is, you know, Allah wanted that to be obvious. Sometimes you might have a calamity, but you know what? The benefit that you will get from the calamity that you will figure out, you have lots of people around you. Okay, so we call it like Zafa Kadab. Okay, so we call it like lots of people. But as I told you before, if you have your phone, how many people that in your contact list? How many people? Like 200, 250, 300, maybe. Okay. When you have a problem, when you are really in a serious problem, how many of them will stay next to you? How many? That's the case. So in these many crises, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he wanted to filter people to him. So during the incident of Isra al Mi'raj or the changing of Al-Qibla, that was the reason, one of the reasons. And also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِيعَ إِيمَانَكُمْ. You know, they started to debate about those people who prayed to the direction of Jerusalem. They prayed and they died. They must be in the hellfire. They must be taken to Jahannam, because that means this Qibla did not work. It wasn't working at that time, so their salah will not be acceptable. So Allah said what? وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِيعَ إِيمَانَكُمْ. Allah is not going to abandon your worship. Allah is not going to neglect your ibadah, your salah, your faith. Allah is not going to let you lose your iman. Because and then I think like Dr. Haider Khan and me and Dr. Rahim, we were talking about this verse. ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب. Allah said it's not about the place, not about the location. It's about what? The heart. That's why after Jumu'ah I was talking with Jordan, one of the new Muslims, about the importance of putting the seeds of Iman first in your heart. Don't be distracted by the rules, what to do, what not to do, what's halal, which is so important. I'm not belittling the importance of that. But first, you have to taste the Iman. Otherwise, if somebody entered to Islam, you know what? And this is one of the things that people are doing wrong with the brothers and sisters who are coming newly to Islam. Once they enter, the day they enter, they give them list of do that, and do not do that. If you did that, you will be in the hellfire. If you did, so he came from a background that he wasn't care about the concept of religion itself. He needs time. Give him time to put the seeds of Iman inside his heart. Let him taste the sweetness of Iman. Let him taste the closeness with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then gradually, let him take the rules one after one and give him a chance. So he will commit mistakes. And wallahi, I'm talking about something real happened with me. The man was talking in Michigan with me, and somebody taught him like fasting is to abstain from food and drink only. He didn't talk with him about the private relationship with his wife. So he thought that is permissible. So he used to do that. No one told him. Other people on the other side, they knew that it's prohibited to have that intimacy relationship. It's prohibited throughout the entire month. Night or day, it's prohibited. You see now? So sometimes you might have a gap or chance for misunderstanding, misrepresenting. So give people that time. And just I need you to comprehend this. How many years passed till Allah made salah obligatory upon companions? So we said 13 years in Mecca. Then the second year in Medina, salah was obligated. Second year of Hijrah. So that means in Isra wal Mi'raj. I mean, in Isra wal Mi'raj, that before the Hijrah, I'm sorry, I'm talking about Siyam, not Salah. Salah was in the second year of Hijrah. So more than like 15 years till Siyam, not Salah, till Siyam became obligated. Rasulullah used to fast. And he had a special fasting. What do you call that special fasting of Rasulullah? He used to have continuous fasting. It is called Siyamul Wisal. Did you hear of that? Siyamul Wisal. Rasulullah ﷺ used to continue fasting 1 or 2, 3 days without breaking the fast. Some of the companions wanted to imitate the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He said, "Amma antum fala, fa inni abitu inda Rabbi yut'imuni wa yasqi." As for you, do not make it. As for me, Allah is taking care of me. He said that in a very figurative statement that I am, at night, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is feeding me and He is giving me food and drink. Means Allah gave me the ability. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me the ability so I can continue fasting. And it was something specially and exclusively for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the concept of Siyam was known with the companions, but it wasn't obligated till after 15 years of da'wah. And Salah, after the incident of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj, it became obligated. Rasulullah used to pray. Some of the companions used to pray as voluntarily prayer. And we know Surah Al-Muzammil, the last verse of Surah Al-Muzammil, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is directing the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to reduce and to make it easy for himself the time, the portion of the time that he prays at night. So the concept here, give people time, be kind, be gentle, be nice while you are conveying the da'wah. And one of the things that we need to understand that's a religion. These not like instructions in a company or a policy you wanted to enforce. That something has to done by heart, by your intention. So it was a test. Changing the Qibla was a test for each and every one. And we said one important concept today. Ittiba' labtida'. And these two words, ittiba' means what? Following. Ibtida' comes from bid'ah, which is innovation. So Muslims should do ittiba' and not ibtida'. Even if they did not get the wisdom right now behind that ittiba'. But listen to this. What makes that ittiba' so important? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Imran, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبُكُمُ اللَّهُ. And I need you to imagine these levels. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said on the tongue of the Prophet, قُلْ, O Muhammad, say to them, if you truly love Allah, then follow me. That's one level. The second one, Allah Himself said, قُلْ أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولِ. Obey Allah and His Messenger. The third level, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِيمَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ وَيُسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. By the name of your Lord, they will not be a good believers till they find you, O Muhammad, a judge between them in the things that they differ about. That's why the good community, the real community, the true believers, even in the masjid, if they differed about something, if they got some like disagreements, what's the first response has to be? We bring the Imam. Imam, please, we need your consultation. What did the Prophet make at that time? What's the action of the Prophet in this case? Then they get the evidence, the solid evidence. And then, listen, ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ. Then they will not find any constriction in their hearts. They will not find any tightness in their hearts to follow your commands, O Muhammad. That's the third level, you remember? Then you might, still argue about to obey Allah or Messenger. So, Allah first or Messenger first? Sometimes we put ourselves in this discussion. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the verse that is the end. Allah said, مَن يُطِعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهِ. خلاص. Whoever obeys the messenger, he indeed obeyed Allah. So don't argue. Don't go. Yes, like قُلْ أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُوا الرَّسُولَ. Somebody might argue about the how to put them in order. أطيعوا Allah first, then الرسول. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us this verse, مَن يُطِعِ الرَّسُولَ فَقَدْ أَطَاعَ اللَّهَ. Full stop. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and that's why I don't understand those people who are like purposely neglecting the sunnah, and they have, I'm sorry to say that, their own tradition even more than the sunnah of Rasulullah. What do they need? They will not make it to Jannah because simply people will line up on the day of judgment behind the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he will be the first one holding the gate of the paradise, and he will knock the door. So the gatekeeper, Ridwan, will say, who is knocking the door? He said, I am Muhammad. Then he will say, Inna Allah amarani alla aftaha illa lak. Allah had given me the order not to open for anyone except you. Then Rasulullah will be number one. Then people will stand behind the Prophet based on following his sunnah. Based on. And those who are creating bid'ahs and they stick and they start fighting, that's the problem. Didn't they hear the hadith of Rasulullah that my ummah will be divided into 73, 73 شعبة, 73 sections, كلها في النار. All of them will be in the hellfire except one. They said, who is that person, who is that section? He said, ما كان عليه كلها في النار. قالوا من هم يا رسول الله؟ قال ما كنت عليه وأصحابي. Those who followed my path and the path of my companions. That's Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And imagine the shirk. Nowadays we see people are associating partner with Allah and they worship humans beside Allah. You know that did not come like just with one click, with one button to press the button. No, that came gradually. Bid'ah, then bid'ah, then bid'ah, then it became bigger and bigger, then it turned to shirk and no one could stop it. Then where is the tawheed? I told you, like that man who was giving the statement that on the Laylat al-Isra wal Mi'raj, when the Prophet Muhammad he claimed that. And that's from the ignorance, because they don't have any credit of knowledge. So then they said that Rasulullah passed Sidrat al-Muntaha. Then, and that's a fabricated narration, they said that Rasulullah went to after Sidrat al-Muntaha, then he have heard Allah talking to him, listen, on the tongue of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Like the voice of Allah, like the voice of Ali. Another narration said that while he is praying after Sidrat al-Muntaha, which is fabricated narration, he looked next to the throne of Allah, and he found Ali. Then he asked Jibreel, "Oh Jibreel, is that Ali?" He said, "No, no, no. That's an angel Allah created on the same look of Ali." Who gave us this information? That's not part of our religion. It's innovation. It's a lie. So please, I beg you, be aware of the Sunnah. Stick with the Sunnah. Remain on the Sunnah. You remember the verse, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold firmly to the rope of Allah. Do you remember the hadith of Rasulullah? The one who is steadfast on his religion seems like whom? Yeah, like someone is holding a piece of fire, piece of flame, that a rock which has fire in it. That's the person. So if you see the life sticking on the religion is easy peasy, no. So scan your Imam, examine your curriculum, because the sign that you are following the Sunnah of Rasulullah, that's not easy peasy. It has to have some struggle. فَرَدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. If you differed about something, bring it back to Allah and His Messenger. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Jazakumullahu khairan. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us. Allahumma ameen. I'm so happy to have the brothers and sisters, mashallah, those who are coming, and our brother, mashallah, we missed him for a long time. And inshallah, we are expecting to have more brothers and sisters during these days. And inshallah, for Ramadan, I cannot wait really to get Ramadan and to see the brothers and sisters and to have Taraweeh with you, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let us all reach Ramadan. Allahumma ameen. In the best of the conditions. Ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.